In 2002, I built a small outside forge with an even tinier roof. It's just too small so that it both rains and snow in. Now is the time to make it bigger, better and more pleasing to the eye. I will tear this old roof down and build kind of the same, but larger. And I will do it as a round timber framing structure. The major challenge with using round timber seems to be that I don't have any reference surfaces. When doing the tenons, I use a piece of string with a weight as a reference line and draw the tenons as best as I can from that. When I have one side of the tenon that visually aligns with the log, I use that as a reference surface for making the tenons squared and neat. Number 1. The second. The lack of the reference surface becomes a larger problem now when I'll do 2 mortises on one log. I again create a reference surface and a secondary surface. Then I compare the two visually with the help of some straight pieces of wood that can enhance the angle between these two surfaces. Then I'd adjust the secondary surface until they are parallel. Now to one of the things that I believe is the hardest to start with, and that is the mortise, which I'm going to try and do using a chisel and a mallet. To do a mortise with a chisel and a mallet is actually fairly easy. First mark out the outline, then start chiseling out the hole. First from one side and then the other. Alternate between removing material and to mark the outline of the hole. I totally built it up in my head. You can see the middle of the wood. I made my tenons 10 centimeters long, which would mean that I'm making the mortises go all the way through, and I would rather a hidden mortise and tenon. I don't remember the correct term for it. I'm going to make the mortise about 5.5 centimeters deep, then I'm going to cut the tenons to 5 centimeters. Somehow I'm now supposed to create a reference surface good enough for doing the knee brace. It might be that this will be a long iterative process until it fits. If I would do more than 2 knee braces, I would definitely do a template. This is so far the most difficult thing in this build. I'm calling it good enough. The knee brace is not a perfect fit, but it's also the first mortise and tenon knee brace I ever made. I had to make a lot of adjustments so that the tenon on the top side became really small. I will try and not repeat the mistakes. In hindsight, I made the tenons a bit too short. When compared to the width of the drill, there is not much material on either side of it, thus increasing the risk of cracks when I drive the peg in. When I drill the hole, I move the drill bit a couple of millimeters down on the tenon. That tenon will then be pulled into the mortise by the wooden peg, which will keep everything in tension. Felt really good to knock these in a bit and just to see that it's tightening up the structure. 2 out of 3 feels good as a beginner and doing it in a round timber. Two out of 3 on that one as well. Let's see if the hours not spent in the gym has paid off. Can't really pay off if you can't reach. I fastened my frame to the barn. I've only fastened it in the cladding. I would much rather that the frame, the outside forge, would fall down than the entire building in case something happened. So the outside forge is a sacrificial lamb in that case. It's quite stable now. As a little more protection from wind and rain, I built a little wall to one end. It will also somewhat protect the workshop from possible flying sparks. I do love the results. I now have a roof that stretches a bit over the stairs and further out beyond the welding table. I can stand just outside my workshop with the door open when it rains and be protected. It no longer rains on my welding table. Of course, it's not completely protected since sometimes it rains from the side. I think it's beautiful. The round timber framing is just a good look for it. If you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have some thoughts, comment down below. Subscribe if you want to see some more. Thanks.